G'day guys. Now, they said this couldn't be done. Well, some did. Looks like a 6000, or it looks like a bit of a dongle. And go up there, it's on my small mono, one I built. So you can see that one. So we're running a mono cable. The configuration of this cable with the extra yellow wire is for a reason. If you want to do this commercially, just leave it with heat shrink, leave the wire there. I've still got a croaky voice. I've been talking all day, and it's going to you know what today because I've been talking. So yeah, Chari's dropped me in a cup of coffee, so I'm going to drink the coffee and talk. So here we go. Yeah, normally that'll fix it up for a bit. So we have this here. I'll show you. I might as well take it off. These detectors are very difficult to do anything with, but I made it too long, of course. But like I say, better to leave extra cable than make it too short. But it needs to be probably cut off about here. So that's just a Minelab type connection. That's a chassis mount one there. It's all I had kicking around. So I've done the particular wiring that's needed in here. I've actually brought that yellow wire in here. It's for a ground shield connection. You might say, just connect it to the braid. No, don't. Whatever you do, do not just connect the shield to the braid, the separate one I'm talking about. You will have egg on face. Yeah. So anyway, that's that, and that is my we'll call it earth, ground. It's not a return, because the outer braid of the cable is the return. We're talking signal levels. Anyway, there's a reason I've done all this particular way. If you don't do it the way I did it, you'll end up with a screaming banshee of a detector. It'll sound off and everything. So we'll stick that on. Yeah, I got a bit of black tape there because it's got the fellow's name on there who owns this detector, and I don't want to make his name everywhere. Okay, that'll stay there. I hope it stays there. I'll turn it on. Now you got to remember it's on a mono coil, so the mono is going to go completely nuts. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. At least the speaker's going in the right direction. Typical noise these things make with a mono on it inside your workshop. So I'll just bring this up in the air. I could probably do a frequency scan. I don't know if it'll do any good. Probably not. I don't know, I'll try it. Just see what it does. Probably does nothing. Round here we go. It'll probably just scream like a banshee anyway, which it does. So, hot rock test. I love it when I make a good coil. And small target test. Yeah, goes like a charm. Let's lock this off so it doesn't fall. No, wrong one, that one. Okay. Let's put my hand over that thing's mouth so it shuts up. So, yeah, 0.05. 0.1. hand effect, ground effect, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't give a flying, you know what. I'll just turn him off, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this before it falls down, and I'll leave the dongle hang there. So yeah, that's basically, whoops, that's the dongle hanging there. But we'll put that down there. I'll drop this back down again. Bear with me. Down the elevator. And a bit more, please. There we go. Jesus. That one. Got so many damn screws and knobs and adjustments on this. Hang on. Need to lubricate up the vocal cords again. God. Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, dear me. Anyway, what I've got here, I'm going to stick it in this. I've got this. It's an old nugget finder, whatever it is. 8x6 mono. This one I had for years and years and years, and it went noisy. So I just pulled it apart. But I'm just going to use the this, stick my coil in this and go for a swing. So that should work out really well. It's even got the nut and bolt on there still. Amazing. So that's that skid plate. Yeah, this had some black. I think I might have done another coil experiment. It's got some shielding paint in there. I might have to scrape that off. I'll just, if you've got shielding paint, just put a couple of lines through it. Just break it like that. And not there anymore. As long as you get it in small enough segments. So guys, yes, you can dongle the 6000. Not a problem, as long as you do it right. Don't connect the braid to the screen. Don't do it. Or else you'll scream. There's a good chance it could possibly blow the detector up. Now, another thing I was going to show you is wherever I put it, it's gone for a wander. Oh, maybe it's on the other end of the cable. Hang on a sec. That's that cable. What's that cable there? I've got cables everywhere here. I piffed it somewhere, and I don't know where I've made it disappear to. They're all the cables are black, so they all look the same. Oh, it's right in front of my face. There it is. That's the cable off the, the Minelab coil. And there's this little inductor, resistor, capacitor that isn't there anymore. I did not install that. As far as I can tell, for what I could measure, it doesn't do anything. It could. It's an LCR. It's parallel L and R. Obviously, the R is to stop the ringing of the inductor. The amount of R is to, basically the power goes through the inductor, but the R just puts a little dribble through because it's very low ohmage. And across those two again is that capacitor, and dear me, and that goes to the coil. So it's a little network across the coil. I don't know if it actually needs it. Maybe someone from Minelab can tell us what that does. I checked it for putting out excess harmonics with and without. Can't tell any difference. I use a spectrum analyzer, and yeah, unless it's up into 20 gigahertz or something, I can't tell what that does. There is no variation, what I can tell, unless it's for the way they wind their coil, and I've done mine my way, which is completely different. I mean, it's still got wire in it. But I'll tell you a little secret about my coil, and you're all going to go, what? I'll tell you right now, my coil doesn't have Litz wire in it. And you're going to go, what? How's that work? Well, it does. You don't need you don't need Litz wire in all circumstances. It depends. It depends if you need Litz wire. I haven't used Litz wire in that coil, and it's as sensitive as almighty. Like I said, it's really, really sensitive. So technically speaking, yes, you should be able to get an efficiency improvement with Litz wire, right? But I've done this before. I've done it with different type of wire and Litz wire. I've looked at it on my test equipment. Like I've got all sorts of test equipment around the place, not just what's on the bench, because I can't put it all on the bench. Now, it's not big enough, it won't go there. But well, what are you talking about? Look at those things sitting up there. They're spec hands. They use those on bloody submarines. Or they did in the US. They used them to monitor sonar signals because they got such a wide spread. And probably that wasn't meant to be public knowledge, but they probably changed them by now anyway. So yeah, they're very, very good. They go down to millihertz. If you want to look at things that low, you could actually put piezo's in the ground and look at earthquakes. Not that you really want to, but yeah. And that I've got higher frequency spectrum analyzers too, Hewlett-Packard ones, or what do they call themselves these days? Yeah, really, really good stuff. So, at the moment I'm using the Tektronix oscilloscope. I'm not using the LaCroix 1.5 gigahertz oscilloscope at the moment because most of the stuff I'm doing is, metal detectors. You can just look at them as DC, more or less. Well, not really, but close enough. They're not in the tens or hundreds of megahertz, and definitely not in the gigahertz where I used to do a lot of work years ago. So it's all, to me, it's like mucking around with basically batteries. Well, basically, I don't know. It's not really batteries, but it's not as finicky as trying to build up power amplifiers that work at 35 gigahertz or something like that. Very, very finicky type stuff where you have to tune circuits with confetti, which is little bits of tiny copper, and on a Delrin or a Teflon tiny rod, and you got to drop it on circuit tracks to change the impedance and matching and stuff like that. It's very tedious. And microwave transistors, no two are ever the same. So you'd be there and doing all the fine tuning. Something the size of about 1 millimeter by 3 millimeter would change your output power from, say, maybe 2 watts to 10 watts output by putting that in the right spot. So that's finicky. This does not. This is pedestrian. So, like I say, wires are hanging everywhere. I haven't even locked anything down. I'll sleeve that cable with some heat shrink and it looked like I bought one. No one will know the difference. I'll put that coil in an old commercial shell and no one will know the difference. And I'll say, how come you're using one of those grey coils on a 6000? Everyone will go, what? How's that happening? They won't understand. But yeah, well, they will now. It can be done. It's not that difficult. So yeah, voice is going again. Jesus, this is ridiculous, isn't it? It's like I've been cursed. Cursed by the ABS and the soldering iron. Don't ever do that, please. You'll end up like this. Sound like freaking Johnny Cash gone wrong. Or something, I hear that train a-coming, it's coming down the track. No, I'll give that a miss. Oh dear. Come on, free up. I don't know what it does. It's like it paralyzes your vocal cords or something. It's really, really strange. But it's getting better. It gets worse in the evening. It's worse in the morning. During the day it comes good, and then probably past about midday it goes bad again. So yeah. I really wanted to go out and do a test with this, but I realised I stuck it together too quick and I didn't thread it through the damn coil. I forgot to thread it through that black hole there, the abyss. I didn't. Well, how am I going to put that in? I have to pull the bloody plug off it now. So that's a common area when you're doing coil experiments. You build the coil and you build the cable and you go, oh, I'm going to put it in the shell. Damn it, I can't put it through. I've done that so many times because you're just in a rush to get things done, and it doesn't work. But yeah, the method to do this has been proven. It works. So there is no shielding connected to the braid of the cable at the coil end, none whatsoever. And you've got to understand, if you want to find out why, dear me, if you want to find out why you do not connect the blue shield wire to the braid of the coil, open up your 6000 and track out where the blue wire goes on the plug, and you'll soon see why. Do not do it. Okay? I'm not going to give the secret away, but if you want to find out for yourself, you can. So that's good. Now, another thing I should address. When I said I was going to do all this and last night, I had an email. How do I put this? It said what you're doing is un-Australian, right? Because it's educating the ones overseas how to do it with these, same as what they did with 7,000 coils. I'm sorry, but no coil company in Australia has done anything for me. Haven't even given me a black jelly bean. So sorry, don't care. So the Russians or Bulgarians or whatever they are now are probably looking at this and they're already on the drawing board making coils up for 6,000s, and there's nothing I can do about it. I could have just not made a video, then no one here would know. No one would know at all, and you'd be paying $1,000 or more for a coil forever onwards. Well, you're probably paying that for a Russian coil anyway. I see the prices on those. Bloody hell! Come on, guys, it's a coil of wire, and it's a plastic. It's a coil of wire. My God, it's like someone asking you to pay $1,000 for a toaster. It's ridiculous. They're not worth that. My God. So, sorry, I just know it. No, I just know it. How do you justify it? You know, it's not made of gold. It's plastic. It's plastic, and it's a wire and a bit of cable. You buy the cable off China for $10, already with a plug on it and a length. I mean, my God, it's not rocket science. It's one of my another pet hate of mine for this industry as such. I mean, yeah, go and buy that for $1,000. You know, you're great, or even 600. You're great, fantastic. Put it between two slices of ABS, and a bit of cable. Yeah, $650, please. Bloody bull. It really is. You know, I don't say much about. Well, I do sometimes. Depends, but you know, I have no loyalty to coil companies whatsoever, none whatsoever, because in my opinion, everyone's getting gouged. Yeah, like I say, make your own coils. It's not hard. Like, I could give you some wire out of my massive stack of wire here. You make your own coils. I think David might have various types of cable up on the website. Not sure. So you can have a look on DetectorMods to see if it's there. I can't talk for much longer. This is just disappearing. But yeah, see, every time I have a drink is a little bit better, but it'll go to pot. Yeah, so every coil manufacturer probably now has me as public enemy number one, and I don't really care. I don't care. I have no vested interest in any coil business out there. Don't care. But I do have an interest in education and home brew, making stuff yourself. You know, I mean, fair income. You want to make yourself a cancel coil? No, it ain't hard. I can make kits up. What I should do is make coil kits up. You can make all your own coils, whatever size you want. Just apply the right length of wire and how to do it. What do you think of that? All you really need then, if you want to make your coil mounts up, get a 3D printer. Make up, or someone out there, or even David's got 3D printers. You can make up little plates with the little coil ears on them, like to put the shaft into, and make them as a plate that you just glue on, whatever. Use old coils. That's, if you get bumastic tape and wrap these things with bumastic tape, self-amalgamating tape, like Nitto make a good tape, and you do it around here and do it up the cable a bit. Well, that is now waterproof, right? Water won't get into it because it's bumastic tape. This isn't, but I said if you did, it would seal it from the elements and be waterproof. You just put that on a stick, or just cut the bottom out of 2 ice cream container bottoms or lids or something. Stick one here, stick one there, another bit of plastic there. Stick it together and just go swinging that. I mean, it's going to work fine. So I keep telling everyone the coils are not rocket science. Well, for someone who doesn't really know and does it from the start, you won't make it work. It's a little bit of tradecraft there to make it work. And like I say, I can test my coils here. They work fantastic. They always have. And like I even mentioned before, that it'll never be admitted to now that we had people who, also we had industry personalities check our coils years ago and said they were the best coils I ever used. But they would never ever say that in a million years, because I know what would happen. And I can understand why they wouldn't say that, because they want to sell other coils and they don't want to lose dealerships. No, that's the truth of the matter. I'll swear frickin' to God, that is the ultimate. Yeah, it's a fact. It's actually the facts. So, yeah, I'm amazed, because I had people telling me, oh, you can't do that. That's not going to work. Um, and I really don't know why. Of course it bloody works. If you do it right, it works. If you do it wrong, it won't. So if you're more interested in how to make your own coils, do it on the cheap, let me know. You can just attack the comments section. And maybe one day I'll get the inclination to do a live stream or something and wind a coil from scratch and do it in great detail. And, even how to wire it to these far-fangled detectors. You can even make a coil for a 7000 if you want. It's not that hard. I mean, you're paying over $1,000 for a coil. Come on. Guys, probably not even $25 worth of copper in it. Really, it freaking freaks me out that they're so expensive. It's just the industry, I suppose. Even like people say, oh, why are your modifications so expensive? Well, let's ask a question. If you had brain surgery, will they do it for a couple of $100? It's not the doing it, it's the amount of time and effort and years and years and years of study to be able to do it. You've got to catch up on all that time. And the thing is too, it's time consuming. When you do modifications, you have to remove stuff, and then you've got to put new stuff in. It's very time consuming. It can't just do it like bang, bang, bang. I mean, you could, but you still got to remove it. You can just make all these boards up and have everything ready to go. But then again, even the parts are not cheap. You can use cheap parts, you'll find out. But yeah, there's just a lot of things to that. But it's a lot of fiddle. But get a mandrel, wind a coil. Round and round you go. Turn counter, stop, take it off, wrap it, doesn't fly apart. Tightly bind it, shove it in a foam cutout, put some hot melt glue on top, give it a splash of carbon paint, put a cable on it, housing. Oh, look at that. $1,000, please. Thank you. No, it's really coils. Coils are sausages. It's a sausage factory. You make one. You make the plastic for a coil. You're not just making one. You're doing a production run. You're making hundreds of them there and then. You're winding the coils, hundreds of them there and then, and chopping cables and plugs on the end. There's a sausage factory. It's nothing special. So, like I said, me saying that's probably upset everyone who makes coils, but bad luck, Do you want to upset a Democrat in America when you say, I think Trump's going to win? So, yeah, you can't keep everyone happy. And if you try and keep everyone happy, all you're going to do is suppress information and education. People won't know. So, yeah, I just think it's one of those industries that needs more competition. So, obviously, in my opinion, the dongling was meant to curtail competition, but now you can curtail the dongle and make your own. So be it. So yeah, there you go. That's in reply to the person who said I was un-Australian. Unbelievable. So if you try and innovate and help people out, you're un-Australian, or you're just going to support the status quo here, and everyone has to suffer. Pay through the nose. No, really. Have a look. Say for instance, right? Have a look at the Chinese copy coils. Okay, Chinese copy coil. People don't like them, but some of them are okay. I'm not going to say which ones. You can find out the hard way. Don't. I don't care if you buy them. Whatever. Up to you. But Chinese copy coil, I could, if I wanted to, get those for $15 each. Okay, $15. You can buy other knockoff coils from them, and you'll be paying $40. I'm not saying the knockoff brands, but the same sort of construction. Do they work? I'm not going to say. But the basics are there to make a good coil. Okay, it's very simple. And I'll say this: if they can be made in China and supplied to me for $15 each and $45 each, that's not including shipping. You have to add another couple of bucks to that, but if you do it in a container, it's cheap if you do bulk of them. Not that I would, but, and you compare the $15 coil to one that used to sell for, I don't know, over $400. I mean, bloody hell. The Chinese don't really work for grains of rice per day, do they? And they don't really have, discounted copper wire. I mean, their copper comes from Australia and Brazil. It has to be shipped there. And they still do it at those prices. Amazing. It really is. So, yeah, I'm just saying things as they are. It's the truth of the matter. I have had coils from overseas come here when people buy detectors. The detectors don't work, and I have a look at the coils. The coils are fine. They work, put it that way. They work on the bench. I fire them up, and away they go. Yep. They do everything a coil's meant to do. But, I haven't checked them out in the field, gone, used them for days and days on end to see if they fall apart or anything. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But like I say, it's not rocket science. So that's probably enough of that. Sorry about that, but someone triggered me with a stupid email. And that person knows damn well who they are. I'm not going to say who it is, but they know who they are. And if anyone out there thinks that me talking about coils is un-Australian, please let me know. Just see if anyone backs that statement up, because I thought it was a bit, I don't know, bizarre. We'll leave it there. Bizarre. So anyway, it's enough waffle. It works. Okay, next one I'll put in the shell and go and swing it for you. Anyway, catches.